Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Jamar back from Vegas Scents. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going over two fragrances and we're going to be comparing these two clones with the original fragrances. All right, so definitely stick around for the rest of the video. Also, do me a favor, man, if you're brand new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, anyone watching the video, leave a like and a comment below. It definitely helps my videos a lot with the YouTube algorithm. All right, so to get straight into the video, again, these are two clones that I have here. One is from Maison Alhambra. The Maison Alhambra is Exclusif Saffron. All right, so that's that one. This is their interpretation of Saffron Lazuli by Carolina Herrera. And we also have a MFK clone. So this is Barakkat Aqua by Fragrance World. And this is their interpretation of MFK's Aqua Celestia. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these one by one. So I'm going to start first with the Exclusif Saffron. And I mean, both the clone and the original of this, both of these are fairly strong. So let's go ahead and see exactly how close they are. All right, and so right away, these are extremely close to each other. Pretty much the way that this particular fragrance opens, or you could say the scent DNA opens, is it opens up with a really sort of leathery, spicy, almost sort of boozy smelling saffron scent. And in the top notes for this fragrance, you get saffron, you get blackcurrant, and then you get tonka bean. In the mid, you get rose and iris, and then in the base, it's leather, gaiac wood, and vanilla. And like I said, the main thing, at least that I can pick up on, is just a really sort of leathery, but at the same time, sort of spicy saffron scent. I don't really pick up on any sort of tonka bean within this particular fragrance at all. And I feel like the black currant is there. It's there enough to give this just a pinch of sweetness, but it's not really the same type of black currant that I think of, you know, in scents like, you know, the black currant in like Creta Ventus or Silver Mountain Water or Byredo Baldy of Freak, where, you know, there's a really apparent sort of sweetness that you get. That I don't necessarily get from this particular scent DNA. Now, what I can say is I do feel like the black currant is slightly more stronger in the Maison Alhambra Exclusif Saffron than what it is in the Carolina Herrera. The Carolina Herrera also is not as strong overall, in my opinion, than what the Exclusif Saffron is. The Exclusif Saffron, at least from what I can tell, this comes across as being like, let's, you know, say for instance, if we're doing this on like a scale from 1 to 10, I would say that, you know, the Exclusif Saffron is probably about an 8, or no, I'd say about a 7. In terms of like its strength and in terms of the strength of like the different notes that you can pick up on. I would say that this is about a 7, and the Exclusif Saffron I would say is about a 9 to a 9.5. It amps up everything that I would say that you smell within the original Carolina Herrera. It amps it up slightly. And yeah, I mean, for the most part, it comes across as smelling, I would say, at least about probably 95% close to the Saffron Lazuli by Carolina Herrera. Now, like I said, this is a very sort of leather dominant scent. So this, in my opinion, it is definitely more of sort of like a formal type of scent. I don't really consider this to be like a casual scent at all. This is more so, in my opinion, something that you would wear to like events, or, you know, if you're like you know, the boss at work, I could see, you know, someone like that possibly wearing this particular fragrance, whether you're, you know, a male or female, because I do think that this is a pretty unisex sort of scent. I don't really think it leans, you know, masculine or feminine really. But again, this is not something that I would wear with like jeans and a t-shirt on necessarily. This is more so kind of like, you know, you're suited up, you know, you're sort of dressed up. That's more so the type of, you know, occasion or situation that I think this falls into. And yeah, man, I mean, like I said, overall, these two are extremely close. And definitely the Maison Alhambra, it comes off as being, you know, noticeably stronger for sure. Also, I don't really pick up on any sort of quality difference. That's the thing that really kind of amazes me with a lot of these different clones, is it seems like even though they cost way less than the original, there are some instances where you really don't pick up on any sort of quality difference at all. And this is one of those fragrances where I just don't pick up on any sort of quality difference where I could say that the Maison Alhambra comes off as smelling cheaper in any sort of way. I mean, I guess technically, if you're someone who doesn't necessarily like maybe, you know, stronger or loudly projecting scents, the Maison Alhambra may be one that you may find to be a little bit too loud or screechy, as some people would maybe say. But like I said, in my opinion, this doesn't necessarily come off as screechy. In my opinion, it just comes off as being a more sort of intense or sort of louder fragrance that, in my opinion, has the same sort of quality. I'm just able to pick up on certain notes a little bit better than I can with the Carolina Herrera. Yeah, I mean, I'm able to smell the Carolina Herrera, but I'm really having to sniff hard to kind of smell that one, as opposed to the Maison Alhambra. Like, this one is just kind of jumping off of the tester strip. So overall, man, this is a really, really solid clone, especially if you can find this one on what is it, fragrancebuy.ca. If you can get this on fragrancebuy.ca, this goes for like $16 before shipping. So, you know, add probably about $11 or so to that, and you're looking at still under $30. If you can find it for that price, I would say that this is definitely a pickup that you would want to get. Especially if you're in those occasions where you're sort of dressing up a lot more. I think this is definitely a good scent to kind of add to your repertoire. All right. Even at the price of $30 something that I bought this for, I believe off of Joma Shop, this still, in my opinion, is still worth that price, especially considering the price of the Carolina Herrera. I think that one goes for like around 200 plus. So again, with this being 95% close to that, this is pretty much a no-brainer if you like that particular scent. All right. So moving on to the MFK clone. All right, so Aqua Celestia. And the Barakkat. So I would say off of the opening spray, I do get a little bit more sweetness from the MFK. And I believe what it is that I'm picking up on is more sort of black currant. Yeah, I'm definitely picking up on more of that sort of sweet black currant in the MFK. The Barakkat Aqua Crystal, you can smell the black currant in this, but I feel like the Barakkat Aqua Crystal is a little bit heavier on like the mint and the lime. And it's almost sort of like the same thing where like in my sort of comparison between Vibrant Vetiver Delight and Byredo Baldy of Freak, that was the main thing that kind of caused me to want to buy the original Baldy of Freak, was just that the black currant note in that in the original, in the Baldy of Freak, that just really captured me and really drove me to purchase the original version of that particular fragrance. Now, I feel like as the Barakkat is starting to dry down, the black currant is starting to come a little bit closer in smell to what I'm getting from the MFK. There is, though, a slight bit of extra sort of smoothness to like the blend in the MFK, to where with the MFK, I feel like you can't really sort of pick up on one individual note necessarily. I mean, I do get a lot of black currant with this one. That's the first thing that my nose sort of picks up on. But it is sort of blended in a way to where you're not just getting that, you're getting, you know, a combination of like that lime, the mint, the black currant. Whereas with the Barakkat Aqua Crystal, I feel like I'm getting more lime and mint than what I'm getting the black currant. Now, with that being said, just like the Carolina Herrera clone, with the Barakkat Aqua Stellar, this is stronger than the MFK. It absolutely is. This one is definitely, the Aqua Stellar is projecting a lot more louder than what the MFK is. I feel like the Aqua Celestia, the MFK, this already sort of smells like a really sort of close to your skin sort of scent. Definitely, I feel like it would be something that, you know, you could probably get decent sillage out of if you were in like a really sort of, like if you wore this on a really hot day and you wore this outside in the sun, you may be able to get decent sort of sillage out of it, but it doesn't, at least not off of the tester strip anyway, it doesn't really seem to be projecting that loudly. Whereas with the Barakkat Aqua Stellar, this is jumping off of the strip, and it also it seems like it has more sillage than what the MFK does as well. Now, in terms of overall closeness, as these two start to dry down, they do definitely start to get closer. So I would say, at least in that opening spray, these are probably about, I would say, about 90%. But as these two start to dry down, even though the MFK is, you know, significantly less strong than what the Barakkat is, the overall smell, I feel like, is starting to get a lot more closer to what the MFK is. It's just stronger, in my opinion. So I would say that once it starts to dry down, the Aqua Stellar, it definitely gets to about 95% or so. Also, I mean, I've worn this a couple of times now since I've had it. And I mean, each time I've gotten at least about 7 hours or so of longevity out of this particular fragrance. With the MFK, I just got this sample in, so I haven't been able to, you know, get like a full wearing out of this one to be able to know exactly how long this one lasts. But I have seen, you know, people online say that the Aqua Celestia doesn't really last that long. Like, it's more so kind of like a 4 to 5 hour fragrance at best. So again, if that is true, at least on me, I would say that with this being as close to the MFK as it is, and with the, you know, sort of, you know, beast mode projection that I get out of this, this is definitely a good pickup, you know, especially I would say over the MFK. So like I said, I'll have to see how the MFK performs on me, but if I only get like 3 or 4 hours or so out of this MFK, then this is going to be a no-brainer. Also, I mean, this is one of the more cheaper fragrances that you can find in that Barakkat, you know, lineup. I believe I picked this one up for, I think I got it for like $27 off of eBay. All right. This is the cheapest, I want to say, Barakkat fragrance that I've seen. So definitely, if you love that, you know, Aqua Celestia scent DNA, I would say absolutely pick this one up. It is definitely close enough, I feel like, to where you're not really missing out on anything, and it doesn't come off as being like super synthetic smelling, you know, in comparison to the MFK. Like I said, there's a slight sort of difference in terms of like the blend quality, I would say, at least in the first couple of minutes or so. But again, once this starts to dry down, this is super close to the MFK. All right. So again, definitely check both of these out. Like I said, if you can find this one on Fragrance Buy, this one is only about $16. And again, I was able to pick this up for $27 on eBay. I believe on Triple Traders and other sites, it probably goes for like around $30 to $35 or so. So just kind of look around and see what you can find. I'll have links below for both of these. But yeah, man, definitely check these out. I'll have you know, my overall review coming for these pretty soon once I, you know, get more wearings of them in. But just wanted to kind of go over both of these and let you know how close these are to the original. So if you are familiar with the original, you can make a decision on whether or not, you know, you actually want to pick these up as clones or not. All right. So let me know in the comments below, have you smelled the originals for these two fragrances? Have you smelled the clones? Have you smelled both? And what do you all think about my assessment of these fragrances? All right. So again, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. Also, leave a like and a comment below. And once again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see y'all in the next video.